course, Little Bulldog, Felice Herrig here back on the program. What a great fight against Alexa Grasso. And really, in my opinion, you kind of stabbed the UFC in the face. They were doing a lot of press, a lot of pushing of Grasso down in Mexico, trying to make it like the next big thing. And you put a stamp on it. It was like, look, she's just not ready. Like, she's just not.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like the UFC, all they want to do nowadays is like promote these young up and comers and make them like the next big thing. But I also think that with experience, that's the thing is like they've never been in these situations. They've never had to fight their way to the top. And for somebody like me, I feel that a lot of the veterans get looked past because we're actually the ones that help pave the way for like these young up and comers to have all these opportunities. But I think that when something comes easy, it's not necessarily worth having, and like you you don't fight as hard for it. And I feel that I've had ups and downs in this sport, and I I believed in myself. I knew the
Yeah.
UFC didn't believe in me. I knew a lot of people didn't believe in me because all they did was follow my career since the UFC. Well, Felice Herrig in the UFC was burnt out Felice Herrig from
Yeah.
the 12 years prior to the UFC that I was hustling and struggling and fighting for like, I think, like,
Couple $100.
yeah, for nothing. So, for me, it was, yeah, I knew they were promoting her, but I didn't care. It gave me more time to focus on my training.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're and obviously training worked. First, let's talk about diet because your weigh-in photo, holy shit. Like you came in shape. And if you really look at it, you didn't like put on a bunch more muscle. Like everyone was saying, oh, look, she got so much stronger, so you did a lot of strength and conditioning. It wasn't. You were the same weight. You weighed in at the same weight. You just had a different body physique, which is more so diet oriented. What did you do differently in your diet for this one? Or has it been just now finally getting everything kind of tweaked in so it works that well?
It was like this past two camps. But the last camp, when I fought Kylan Curran, I was still on the, cusp of like trying this new thing. So not being 100% all in, maybe like 90%, still and mentally, like, because in the past I had, thought less was more. So I would not eat as many calories as I should have. I remember like for years I was eating like 1,200 calories a day. And for an elite athlete,
Holy
training
crap.
4 or 5, yeah, training, I was starving myself. And in my mind, that's how I was cutting weight. And this time, I didn't weigh myself until, because I know my body doesn't blow up that much. The
Yeah.
heaviest I walk around ever is like 132, and that's when I'm just
Oh,
chilling.
yeah.
Um, but this time I didn't weigh myself. I weighed myself 3 weeks out. That was the first time I stepped on the scale because I know myself. If I stepped on the scale like early in training camp, I would have freaked out about the weight and I would have been like, "Oh, I need to eat less. I need to eat this amount of calories." I ate very healthy. My
Yeah.
my diet is pretty much the same, but I ate healthy and I ate to where I was satisfied. I ate for performance. I would do like pre carbs, post carbs. I would get my glucose in pre and post workout. I feel like I in the past, and it wasn't that I was like going for physique, like aesthetics, like with the
Yeah.
diet, but it was like a mental thing, looking at the scale and feeling like, okay, I'm 125. Oh my gosh, I have to weigh in at 116. That's 9 pounds. How am I going to do it? And feeling like every day I had it, like if I wasn't weighing less and less and less every day, then I just had to keep eating less and less.
Yeah.
And then even post the last fight with Kylan Curran was the first time in my entire life I have ever carbo loaded. I
Oh.
I thought that was like a myth for just like marathon runners or something. I thought it was like the cool thing. You know how like all these people are like gonna go carbo load, gonna go eat pasta. Like in my mind, I was like, okay, well you're not running a marathon, so what do you need a carbo load for?
So
I
take us through carbo loading because a lot of people at home don't know it. And actually, I've only done it right after weigh-ins and then getting ready for the fight. It's the only time I've ever carbo loaded. I've never done it any other time. So kind of talk us through how carbo loading went for you.
Well, that is how I did it. Actually, the funny thing is, like as I was getting close to weigh-ins, like 1 week, 2 weeks out, After training, sometimes I would just be craving stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna go eat pancakes. I'm gonna go eat, cannolis. I'm gonna eat gummy bears because that's the time where your body needs the
Yeah.
sugar, the glucose, and that's the time where it's not going to affect your weight. So again, I was giving myself these little cheats that were getting me through, this camp, and I was satisfied. But now that we have the earlier weigh-ins, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I put in my body is I want to recover with the glucose. Actually, the first thing I had was coconut water and gummy bears. And then I had sent to my room. I had it so that because our weigh-ins were from like 9 to 11. So I got on the scale around 9, and I had at 10 o'clock, I had pancakes were delivered to my room. So I ate blueberry pancakes, and I was just sipping on water all day. And then throughout the day, I would just in increments, I would just eat carbs, but I never ate to where I was stuffed, like full, like
Yeah.
uncomfortably stuffed. Because you got to remember, I've been dieting and cutting weight for weeks, so my stomach was shrunk. So I didn't want to do anything that was going to be, that's the thing. People think you need to get all your carbs in at once. You
Yeah.
don't. You just need. I just did it in increments throughout the day.
So obviously it worked. I mean, you look great in the fight. So what was the game plan originally? Let's start with that. What was the game plan originally when the cage doors get ready to close? And okay, I'm getting ready to start the fight. This is the game plan I'm supposed to implement.
A lot of people game plan like too much, and I'm a very basic game planner. I knew what Alexa's skills were, strengths were. I knew what her weaknesses were. I knew what my strengths were. I I wanted to keep it on the feet because I believed that I could strike with her, but it was not to be a reckless fighter. It was to be a smart, controlled. I don't want to say point fighter. I would say I kind of treated it like a sparring match. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to spar with you. I'm going to feel you out. I believe that my striking is going to be better. So I just wanted to control the pace, control the distance. And then when I wanted to keep her on her toes, take her down to seal the rounds. That's it. But also not because Grasso likes to fight with her back against the cage. She likes to do the clinch. So you'll hear my coaches like as time went on, like if I got too close, they tell me don't get into a firefight because that's what she wants. She wants to have these brawls, and not that I can't brawl. In the past I've brawled before, but why? I don't need to brawl. I need to be the smarter fighter. Um, it's a chess match too. They just told me not to get caught up in the clinch. Not because I couldn't handle the clinch. If I got
Yeah.
caught in the clinch, I just take her down. But I wanted to strike with her, and I think too because she was touted as this great, phenomenal striker, and I was like known now as this ground fighter. I'm like, nah, I can outstrike this girl, and I
How
wanted.
hard is it sometimes when you're watching tape on your opponents to filter out the commentators because they're going to sell a fight. The commentator's job is to sell the fight, make the fans be super excited about whatever individual. And so you're watching tape on this particular fighter, and you're like, I don't see what these commentators are seeing, and it happens a lot when you're getting ready to fight. How hard is it for you to filter that out?
Actually, the funny thing is, a lot of times if I do watch tapes, I watch it on mute.
Okay.
Because I don't like to hear that stuff prior. But I also, a lot of people, I don't really overstudy my opponents. I let my coaches study them, and then because then nothing's in my head like I have to do this. I don't want to go in overly scared of them because I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
I've like looked at a fighter and I've overestimated them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so good at this, they're so good at this. And I had already seen Grasso fight prior to this matchup because, I followed her in Invicta. I saw a few of her
Yeah.
fights. I knew she was good, but I remember thinking I think I could beat this girl. And so actually, when the fight was booked, I didn't watch any of her fights. I just
Oh.
let my coach do it.
Okay. Let
No,
Kurt handle it. Yeah.
and that's the thing. A lot of people think that that's like what that's so wrong, but for me, it works because my coaches are the ones like preparing me for the fight, kind of game planning. They work everything that I need to work, and I'm a good listener. I listen to my coaches very well,
Right.
and that just has always worked for me.
Speaking of listening to your coaches, did you have to make any adjustments during the fight? Like between the first and second round, you came out with a different pattern. Now it might have been just you saw something we didn't see sitting at home, but you had like a different rhythm between first and second rounds. What?
I think that was actually more so just because I was, the first round you're kind of feeling them out. I actually don't even remember really what they said in between, other than to not get in a firefight, not get into a brawl. They wanted me to throw my overhand right more, which was which I didn't anticipate on the overhand right working in this particular fight, because Grasso is a counter fighter and she'll throw a good 1-2. So I thought maybe she would counter my strikes and then I would have to counter her back. But I just everything just kind of happened based on feel. I felt her out the first round. I knew that I could handle her, and I just started getting in my own groove, my own rhythm. Plus, the
Yeah.
first round is, you're just getting your nerves out a lot of the times.
How you seem a lot? You seem externally a lot more calm walking into the cage than you used to in the past. And I'm going back 4 or 5 fights ago. You used to like be real jittery, and of course, you said you were burned out at that point too. You seem exteriorly a lot more calm. Internally, are you still just as nervous, or are you calmed down?
No, I actually, like that feeling you get, of course, that feeling you get before, like, in the locker room, before you're walking, as you're walking out, you get those butterflies. It's almost like you're on that roller coaster and it's about to go down. And I didn't feel that. I was as calm as can be. I was so calm that in the locker room, I told my coaches, I'm like, I almost feel too calm. I hope that I don't go in there so relaxed that I don't do anything.
Yeah,
But I was confident, I was focused, and then for the first time in a long time, and I think it's because I started working with my performance doctor, Dr. Cowan, and I got my levels back to where I could fight to my full potential, and I feel like it gave me confidence. That I wasn't confident in myself. It was just that when it came fight time, I wasn't doing all the things that I knew I could do, and my legs would get heavy, and I would not get gassed out, but like I said, my legs would get heavy, like I was stuck in mud. And this fight, I could have gone 10 rounds.
yeah, it really did. It looked like you had a lot more left when the fight was over. Did you feel like at any time that there were some opportunities for you to finish the fight that they just didn't come together? Like you could have finished it, but it kind of slipped past you. Did you feel like there was any of that time in there?
Well, I think, yeah, but my coaches, because they didn't want me to get in a firefight, I'm
Yeah,
sure there could have been times where I could have been there were times where I was going in to be aggressive, and who knows if my aggression would have outpowered her, would have done something to change everything. But my coaches didn't want me to do that. And there was the time when I took her down. I don't know if it was I had the double leg, yeah, and she grabbed for the Kimura. Of course, I
yeah,
knew she didn't have it because I was going to the back position, so she
yeah.
wasn't going to have it. But I didn't sink my hips down enough. I didn't like just hunker down and hold her there. She did a great job at getting up. I actually thought once I got her down, I was just gonna I was just gonna ground and pound her out, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really any times where she was in. I don't think I had her in serious danger, but also, the game plan was to fight smart.
Yeah. Well,
And if I would have gone for the kill if I felt that kill moment was there, and that's the thing. You just, like when I fought Kylan, like the
yeah.
opportunity was there and I took it.
So with Alexa, it seems like she recovers very well because I saw a couple of times where she was kind of wobbled, hurt, and then you did get aggressive right after, but then she kind of got herself out of it. And part of that goes into it too. Like, I think it's there. Oh, it's not there. I'm gonna slow down because you don't want to punch yourself out. You don't want to lose too much energy, especially when you're already winning the fight. Then you don't want to turn into something where crap. I got beat because I got too aggressive. So smart move on your part.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like there was times where I went in, but unless you have them really hurt, because I've seen it so many times, people going for the kill and they get reckless, and that's when they get countered with something, and I just didn't want to do that. I just wanted to stay poised, and I was winning. I think that if I wasn't winning the fight, I would have to do something desperate, kind of like she did at the end.
Yeah,
The end of the third round. Okay, so she had like a 15-20 second flurry where she was doing great, and it's not that I couldn't have done that too, but I didn't need to. I won the fight.
yeah.
I
And
I was in desperation mode.
Yeah, you were clearly winning the fight at that point. So you're on cruise mode, which happens to every single fighter out there. We're at the end. I don't see an absolute. I'm gonna relax, and of course, the person losing is gonna come at you as hard as they can. So
And I was prepared for her to do that because going into the third round, I knew that I was on cruise mode.
yeah,
Didn't want anything stupid to lose the fight, and I also knew that she was probably going to be desperate and have to do something desperate because she had to look for a finish. She had to look for a knockout, because otherwise she was not going to win the fight.
so I gotta ask. Vacation time is right now. What do you do when the fights are done?
Oh, you know what? Carla Esparza is
Yeah,
fighting in 2 weeks,
yeah.
and we're gonna take a trip to Hawaii after that because
Oh,
that's been my dream to go to Hawaii since I was a little girl. So Carla and I are gonna go, but I'm ready to go. I think come Monday, I wanna get back in the gym. I wanna start training. Not training like just again training for fun, training to learn, training to evolve. I feel like I really reached a turning point in my career. When I came back and then I beat Kylan, and not
yeah,
because I beat Kylan, but because I got the medical help that I needed, and I got my body back to normal, and so I'm kind of I got a new fire inside of me.
yeah.
Like I'm 32 years old, so it's not like I have a huge, this long career left in me, but I want to finish,
You
what.
could you could have 10 years left. I mean, we've seen we've seen some people go into their late 40s. I mean, you could easily have 10 more years left in the sport.
Oh, I'm not saying I can't. I just, I want to go out on a good note, and I do want to do some other things with my life. I'm not ready to be done fighting yet, so I don't
Yeah,
want to talk about, retirement or anything like
yeah,
that. I just know that I want to be that person who I want to stop fighting when it's my time to stop, not because the sport is telling me you're done, you're done. I don't want to be done because of all these injuries and getting all these knockouts and this and that. And I don't want people to be like, "Please, I don't think you should be fighting anymore." I want to end my career on a good note, and I want to be like, "Peace."
yeah, yeah.
It's been fun.
Where are you and Carly going to go in Hawaii?
I don't know because we like there's so many places. Carla's been to Hawaii a few
Yeah,
times. So she's kind of going to be my little like tour guide. I'm not we're not really talking about it until
after.
after her fight, because I had my fight and that was the last thing on my mind. And then now Carla has her fight, so I'm not going to be like, "Hey, I'm done with my fight, but let's talk about our trip to
Yeah.
Hawaii." Yeah. So,
Well, once you guys get your plans squared away, let me know because Jill and I will be here. And then, depending on what
oh,
island you're going to, we might be able to meet up with you guys at least
oh,
for
that'd be
a night.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, oh, Frank's from there. But I know you've been traveling a lot and haven't been in Hawaii.
Yeah, I got lucky. Holy crap! I got for a while. Just it goes with acting and with stunts. Sometimes the shows you work on, the writers just don't write any stunt work in for a guy with my look. There's stunt work in, but you might have to be like a 20-year-old Asian, or you got to be a 40-year-old white guy, and I don't play those parts. Like I play
Yeah.
those parts. So for a while, I wasn't working at all, like nothing. Just making playing the game, playing the hustle, trying to figure out how the bills were coming. And I got in a run. Man, Lethal Weapon has had me on 3 times for their show. I doubled an actor a little while ago. I just came off Lethal Weapon again, so it was in L.A. Went and spent a week in Vegas hanging out with my kids and my mom and my brother, and Jill's mom. So that was
Yeah.
another time they were off in the holidays. So it seems like I've been on the road since like November, but really it's like it's only been like a quick, short, bam, here's 8 days. Okay, go home. And you're home. You're like, okay, now I'm home for a month. But then they give you a phone call. Okay, you got to leave in 2 days. Like, okay, crap, I'm gone again. So it's like it's just
So
one of
you're
those.
kind of like on call all the time.
Yeah, yeah, really, we are. Like I'm always I get yelled at a lot. And any one of my exes will tell you, and then Jill will tell you 100%. Like I'm always on my phone because that's how people get a hold of me. If I'm going to get a text or a phone call or an email from production that I literally could be working tomorrow, I got to know. So I'm always on my phone. And then
Yeah.
so Jill goes, okay, time to stack it. So we go to dinner. I got to stack it on the table. So we stack our phones on the table and put them away so I can't touch them. It's like otherwise
Oh,
I'll be on it all the time.
dude, what's with the lip gloss thing? Like every time she takes a photo of like a
Okay.
drink, she has like some matte lip gloss, and I think it's like the cutest thing ever because I'm like, it's like something I would do. I just love it.
Yeah. So who's interviewing who here? What's this? Is this your
I
show? What's going on? So how the lip gloss started is that our friend of ours that introduced us, Jordan McDonald.
I know
We
Jordan. Yeah.
we were out one night at this place called Commonwealth. It's where we first met. It was like weeks later. So we're out one night hanging out with some of my friends, and I took a picture of the photo. Kind of didn't want to post a photo of her yet because we had just started dating. But like, hey, out on a date, whatever. and she had left her lip gloss on the table because she got caught in a conversation. Well, the photo is of the 2 Moscow Mule cups, and then Jill's lip gloss is strategically placed behind it, but it was just by accident. Jordan immediately posts, once I post the photo, oh, look at Jill pissing all over the photo, meaning like, I'm here, I'm claiming this, you know, and then it became a thing. So now every time we take a photo, she's like, lip gloss, put the lip gloss in. Hold on, we gotta get the lip gloss and put the lip gloss in. So now it's just a gimmick, you know.
That's an awesome story. I love that.
Yeah, it's funny. It just happened by accident. Kind of like, you know, when I was watching the fight, a lot of people were like, hey, Felice is going for the Patriots because look at her hair. Look at what she has in her hair. She's obviously going for the Patriots. Is that why your hair was done? Was because you're going for the Patriots? Or that was just the color scheme for this
No,
fight?
you know what? I feel like everything kind of just falls into place for me sometimes where like a lot of things are just coincidences that happen. I was going for the Patriots, but it was actually because you know, I used to do all my themes. So
Yeah.
I was fighting Alexa Grasso, who is Mexican. So I was like, I'm going to be all about American pride, USA. So my nails are red,
Yep.
white, and blue. My ribbons, red, white, and blue. I had these 2 Converse shoes. I actually bought 2 pairs just to do it. I like to mismatch my shoes a lot.
Yeah.
So I had one Converse that was the red, white, and blue flag, and then the other one was gold because I was I was saying, hey, I'm gonna win gold tonight. And then it was also Houston's flag is red,
Yep.
white, and blue.
Yep.
And it's Super Bowl weekend and the Patriots. So it kind of all came together to where it just all happened. It was
It
just
worked.
fate, yeah.
Well, it worked. Obviously, if you were following the Super Bowl, obviously the Patriots won and came back in incredible fashion. So obviously your gimmick worked all the way through to their gimmick because they came back from a place where no one thought they could come back from. So it worked all the way around.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
good for you. You look
it
great.
was
It obviously worked. The fight went well. The game plan was perfectly executed. Your mindset was perfect. What is the next thing you're gonna work on then when you're coming through? Because now you finally got your mental ability put together. You finally got your physical ability to match your mental ability, and now everything's kind of in tune. So what do you got to go back and work on now?
I think just, you know, there's a few things in my game that I want to work on to improve on. Not going to say what those things
Yeah.
are, but you know, I'm an MMA fighter. I'm always evolving. Like I always want to be evolving. You know, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about my game is that you don't really know what Felice Herrig you're going to get. You know, I came out a striker, somebody who had no ground game, started, you know, became this ground fighter, and
Yeah.
then went back to my striking, and then also I have wrestling to boot, you know. So there's things that I want to work for myself, and you know, you can always improve, you can always get better, but again, I think it's cool that I'm always evolving, and it's like you can watch, you know, of my past fights, and
Yeah.
every single one of them is different, and if you're trying to study me, it's good luck.
It's a definite headache trying to figure you out. You're like, okay, is she going to submit me? Is she going to just outbox me? Is she going to wrestle me and ground and pound me? Like, now I really got to have a full game. Otherwise, because you don't know what you're going to get. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, last question.
Yes.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so I just want to, you know, I'm taking the week off. You know, I have bumps and bruises, nothing major, but just want to chill and unwind. But I'm ready to go back to the gym and start training. I want to train.
Did you say chilling on wine or chilling and unwind?
Unwind. I am chilling on wine too, though. Me and my mom, we cracked open. There's this Hatch green chili. It's like Hatch chili wine that I have to order it from New Mexico. It's the best. Like there's a red wine and a white wine, but it's got like it's made with like Hatch chilies. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But yeah.
Do me a favor. When we get done, text me the name of the wine company because I definitely like to go look at it, or link to the site if you've got it.
Yeah, it will. It's like St. Clair or whatever. I'll look it up. I'll
Okay.
give it to you. It's like the best wine I've ever had.
All right, last question before we get out of here. Where the hell is Quinn?
She's right there, Quinn. Quinny. She's.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I follow you on Instagram, and is just to see pictures of the cat. And I hate cats.
People who do hate cats love Quinn. They say she's a cat dog or a cat human. But
yeah, I don't. I'm not big on cats because they're independent. They don't come when you call them. They don't do anything that you want them to do. They do it at their own pace, their own time. Like, no, if I have an animal, I want something kind of control. A cat's just fuck you. I don't feel like coming over right now. I'm just not going to do it. You're like, shit.
She usually does come over when I call. She even plays fetch. I think she's a little mad at me though, because I just got home and like
That's right.
she kind of gives me the cold shoulder for like a couple hours when I get home. Like if I'm at my parents, if I leave her with my parents, she gives me the cold shoulder, like you've been gone too long. But every time I walk into another room, she walks in there. She's got to be around me, but she's like, I'm not going to give you my love yet. You got to earn it back. But she cuddled with me all night.
She's just
her personality is so much like mine.
She's like a boyfriend. She's like, you just got back, you've been gone, but I have to be in the same room, but we're not going to talk or hold hands. You're like, all right. Okay. That's awesome. Felice, thanks so much for coming on here. I appreciate talking to you. Hopefully next time I'll set up with Brian so I can get you. I like getting you during fight week because you're a little
you're bad luck.
I know.
I like every time you've interviewed me for fight week, I've lost, but also I'm a different person now. I'm a different fighter.
Well, we're going back. Tesha and Paige, the 2 times I interviewed you fight week, and I was like, Brian, I want to get a fight week. He's like, nope, and that's all I responded back with nope. I was like, what the fuck you mean, nope? What the hell is nope? And then he reminded me, I'm like,
I love you.
Yeah.
You know I love you.
Yeah.
It's just those superstitions like that you carry as a fighter. You're just like, But I'm getting rid of a lot of my superstitions. Like for instance, this past fight, since like my my Muay Thai title fight years ago, I always ask the athletic commissioner to draw a smiley face on my hand wraps. Always.
Yeah.
But to try to get away from superstitions, like this time I almost asked them, I'm like, don't do it. Don't ask for the smiley face. Because I don't want to have those superstitions.
Yeah.
You
know? It's funny, too, because Stipe Miocic won't do interviews with me either during fight camp because the 2 times he interviewed me lost. And so he won't.
See?
And he'll tell me, like, no, I won't because I'm superstitious. I'm like, all right, I totally accept that answer. Don't blow me off. Don't give me no answer. Tell me something that I'm okay. I can deal with that. I'm okay with that. So.
Well, we're just telling you you're bad luck. You do not have a horse.
But then I have other people who are like, dude, you have to interview me. Like we have an interview. You have to interview me. Why? Because every time you interview me, I win. So it's like I get it from both sides. I am not a good luck charm. I am not a bad luck charm.
It's neither. It's neither. It's just people's own weird superstitions. Yeah.
I'll take it.
She is like a dog. She's humping me. No. Quinn. No, she's not. She
oh my
rubbed her butt against me. I thought she was humping my leg.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully we can make it happen and see you here in Hawaii. It'll be awesome to get to hang out with you again and go grab some food.
So cool.
Yeah. Well, let me know when your plans are set up, or text Jill. Let us know when your plans are set up, where you're going, and we'll try to get things worked out so we can hook up.
All right. Hell yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your time off. Enjoy the time with your family, because I know you're back at your mom's place, your parents' place. Enjoy yourself. Have fun with that time off. And, man, I can't wait to see when they make the next announcement for your next fight.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right. Thanks, Frank.
Take care.